The DC, also known as the target number or difficulty class, is an important part of the Dungeons & Dragons mechanical system. But should you tell your players what the DC of their role actually is? I've seen a lot of discussion go around on this topic, and it boils down to 4 major points that I feel like I should cover in the video. First of all, if you tell your players what number they're trying to hit, they can easily determine how likely they are to succeed and game the system by only declaring actions that are likely to succeed. Personally, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know I don't mind players gaming the system, because I think that's what the system is there for, and I don't think that gaming the system leads to bad roleplay. But that's a topic for another video. The thing here is that as a Dungeon Master, I confirm all of my players' actions before anything happens with the dice. They don't even know what dice I'm going to ask them to roll until they've described to me how their character is doing, what they're trying to do, and oftentimes why they are trying to do it and what goals they have in stating that action. So ultimately, by the time I tell the player what the difficulty class is for their role, they're already going to be rolling it. There's no take-backsies at that point. This is because I lead with the roleplay and follow with the dice, instead of the other way around. The second argument I've seen for not telling players the difficulty class of your rolls is that it lets you fudge the dice, which as the Dungeon Master is a really useful tool. It lets you prevent the odd bad roll from really knocking things off course, and it lets you kind of maintain that perfect level of tension with pass and fail as you go along. Honestly, this is a legitimate and honest concern. I think that a lot of Dungeon Masters do this to very good effect. I am not that Dungeon Master. If I start fudging dice rolls like that, I start fudging them all over the place, then I stop even caring what the difficulty class is, and I just want to see if the die roll was high or low on the d20, and half the system falls apart and is no longer relevant. So I don't do this, but that's just me. Another argument that I've seen for people hiding the difficulty class on their rolls is that it prevents the numbers from intruding on the player's sense of immersion. Frankly, I think this entire argument is bullshit. Ultimately speaking, I have to ask for the dice roll in the first place, so immersion's already been broken if this is going to be a concern. Knowing what number you have to roll to hit is no more egregiously disruptive than knowing that you have to roll dice in the first place. The last argument that I've seen that I think is really worth addressing is that it prevents players from knowing information their characters don't know. If you know that the difficulty class on the search check was 10 and you rolled an 8, you know your character didn't find something. This is all well and good, and I'm not going to get into a huge discussion of metagaming right now. Again, another subject for another video. Damn, I'm racking those up today. The point is, ultimately, I think that if a die roll is going to lead to information the player and character might have in different amounts, I'm going to make that roll behind closed doors, where the players can't actually see the roll, because they're going to know that they rolled low anyways, if they did, which indicates that they might be failing, and that's just a whole thing. There you have it. 4 major reasons I've seen discussed as to why you might want to hide the difficulty class from the players at your table. I want to see what your guys' thoughts are on this. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Let's get some discussion going and see if we can find any really cool ideas. Personally, I mix and match when I tell and don't tell, and sometimes I just tell people because it just saves time. I don't have to stop, check, relate, question, blah, 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 blah. Roll me a DC 12 Arcana check. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm evilsqueegee, and I'll catch you guys later. Adios.
The Atlantic Ocean, a body of waters so large that mankind failed to explore it for centuries. So deep that even the minds of modern science can only hope to imagine what lies beneath its depths. The year is 1953. The greatest minds that science has ever seen gathered together to discuss a strange and unsettling discovery. Beneath the waves of the Atlantic Ocean, a machine, more complex than any computer ever seen on Earth, and more mysterious than the inner workings of a shadow government. What do these strange alien words mean? Twitter, filled with images and animations. Twitch, live gameplay broadcasts. And what are game wisps, anyways? All these questions and more remain unanswered, even with the power of mankind's greatest scientists diving and exploring the oddity of the machine. Tonight, news at 7. One of our reporters failed to return from the depths of the exploration site. What lies beneath the waves? What strange origins can this machine possibly have? To find the answers to these questions and more, stay tuned. Like and subscribe, but be warned, the truth is not often for the faint of heart. The choice is yours. What do you do?